There are thousands of people on social media who are claiming that this Angel Reese injury is fake, or as Donnie Brasco would call it, a fugazi.
Caitlin Clark just released a bombshell message to Angel Reese, and it's the reality bite she needs. Reese is attempting every pitiful method to make headlines. Very seriously? A wrist injury? The best you have? How handy you break your wrist and flee to the sidelines like you're out for the season as your team collapses.
Would Angel Reese prematurely end her rookie season to spare herself the embarrassment of losing Rookie of the Year to Caitlin Clark?
Please, girl, stop playing about with that supposed injuries. This is just another depressing attempt to gain sympathy for a game that doesn't live up to the expectations. Pathetic. This is merely Reese being herself and vying for attention rather than points. Nothing seemed to be amiss with it. The supporters were taken aback when she announced that she would miss the remainder of the season because she had not mentioned any injuries. Reese stated that she suffered a wrist injury that ended her season on September 8th during a game against the Los Angeles Sparks. After falling and possibly breaking her wrist, she made the decision to have surgery. Let's pause now for a moment, since Clark was not buying it, being the whole savage that she is. To be honest, not many people were either. The fall was, after all, captured on camera with about as much drama as a leaf hitting the ground. Okay, Reese, feel free to assert that you require surgery. Yes, that's right, my wrist hurts. I've retired for the year. When I received the M1, I stumbled and fell onto my hand, causing a tiny fracture in my bone. Experts in medicine commented that minor wrist fractures typically heal on their own and infrequently require surgery. But alas, Reese had surgery and pronounced herself out for the season. It's not your fault that folks are wary these days. Remember that at that moment, the Chicago Sky's chances of making the playoffs were all but gone. Was Reese attempting to elude the spotlight and save face by skipping the postseason? Sincerely, this is getting out of hand. It's not about playing hoops anymore, is that right? No, it's about pretending to be hurt in order to maintain attention. How practical? Please give me a moment. During recess, I've witnessed toddlers suffer harsher falls and get back up as if nothing had occurred. Reese, on the other hand, needs surgery for a hairline fracture because, well, it seems that healing naturally or by walking it off like any other athlete wasn't dramatic enough for her. In essence, the surgeons informed me that I had two options of surgery or not. If I choose not to get surgery, I could genuinely develop arthritis at the age of 22. That was not a possibility. The bone can physically break into pieces and split. It's simply a hairline right now, not even that huge, more like a shatter. However, they will insert a tiny screw into it. Without surgery, hairline fractures mend quite nicely. Of course, Reese had to turn this into a spectacle. After all, what would be an Angel Reese season if there wasn't some sort of dramatic high point? Surgery and missing the remainder of the season? With the Chicago Sky, it all sounds like one giant way to avoid the disgrace of missing the playoffs. Really, what are we expected to believe in this situation? That Reese is simply doing what she does best, stirring up controversy when her gameplay doesn't justify it, or that she is simply the victim of poor luck. How naive can you be? I would have called Angel Reese out on what she just said if I had known her longer. She is youthful, nevertheless, just 22 days remain. While the Chicago skyline is collapsing, she is purportedly tending to her wrist injury. Rather than concentrate on her recovery, she is promoting podcasts and attending the Met Gala in style. Really, Reese, you have plenty of time to be shaking hands and signing endorsement deals, even if your wrist injury keeps you out of the game for the season. I did believe she would have the same significant influence on matters off the court as she does. She has also accomplished more off the court this season than any other WNBA player in the league, in my opinion. She has been extremely busy with everything from movie premieres to brand deals, fashion shows, advertisements, and the Met Gala. Now let's discuss team dynamics. The Chicago skyline was a total bust. Do you know why too? Since their entire offensive strategy was centered around Angel Reese. First mistake made. Players like third-round pick Camila Cardoso are ready for their chance to make an impression. But no, everything has been funneled through Reese as part of the Sky's entire plan. Now that she's gone, they feel disoriented and are clumsy, acting as though they don't know how to play without her. Is Reese the only player that can pass the ball, really? Given that she hasn't been practicing basketball thus far and has instead been reacting to Reese's turmoil, I assume Cardoso is wondering when her real rookie season will begin. Conspiracy theories sprang off on the internet a day after the news broke. They wanted to know if she was really hurt. Did she simply choose to end the season because she didn't want to be discussed in the context of Rookie of the Year? Meanwhile, the sky is at a loss for what to do without Reese, who is out here acting as though her wrist is made of glass. How much they've depended on someone who looks more interested in red carpets than rebounds is almost humorous. However, this is the result of placing all of your eggs in the Angel Reese basket. Now that the squad is struggling, everyone is left to question, was Reese really all that good in the first place? Is it possible that she has been taking all the attention because the Sky is unable to let anyone else have it? Seeing how the Chicago Sky executes their offense without Angel Reese on the court will be interesting in my opinion, as they have made a point of passing the ball through Angel Reese in both wins and losses this season. And for a moment, let's be honest, is Reese no longer that interested in basketball? Really, when you spend more time in front of a microphone than in front of the hoop, can you really call yourself a basketball player? The saddest thing is that some people are genuinely supporting her, saying things like, how smart is she, that she's thinking about her future. Yes, well, given that it's her work, perhaps she ought to consider playing hoops first. But no, Reese is too busy making her tiny media empire and cashing checks. It appears as though she is preparing for life beyond basketball even before her career has truly begun. However, the majority of people are really hating Angel Reese for this ridiculous injury crap. This isn't simply a little rumor that keeps getting around. A vast number of people are openly doubting the validity of this injury on social media. Many thousands of individuals believe that Reese is deceiving them to avoid completing the season. An analyst even went so far as to refer to the entire situation as a fugazi, meaning it was all a lie. Donnie Brasco would refer to the thousands of people who are alleging on social media that this Angel Reese injury is a fugazi. And to be honest, who can blame them for believing this is just another attention-grabbing maneuver from Reese given her past? Besides, Reese was never going to win Rookie of the Year anyhow. One analyst stated it quite bluntly. They made no attempt to downplay it. Let's just say that Caitlin Clark is the Rookie of the Year. Reese would miss the remainder of the season because she was already losing that race. All I want is to succeed. It is something I really want to do, make it to the playoffs. Thus, I'm excited about it. Rookie of the Year isn't really on my mind. I won't even begin to discuss the timing of this alleged ailment. Just when her team's chances of making the playoffs are dwindling, Reese is abruptly fired. Very convenient, eh? Reese gets to sit on the sidelines and receive sympathy and attention without having to do anything while the rest of the squad is out there struggling. And the final flourish, she gets to profit handsomely from this injury tale while everyone else is fighting tooth and nail to get into the race. Right now, it's really embarrassing. The formal conclusion of Angel Reese's rookie season as a WNBA dump diver was declared on Twitter. Hi there, lone men who follow. Angel, it's me. No bikini photos today due to some unfortunate news. I've been in the care of a fictitious doctor. Jill Biden at Woke Memorial Hospital for the past weekend. I just found out from Jilly that I have a boo-boo on my wrist. Oh my. Remember that Reese has a history of acting inanely like this. She seems to be allergic to not being in the news. Pulling pity cards like this one, if not squabbling with other players, is what it is. It surprises me that she hasn't given herself a sympathy #smack. Whoa, she most likely has. Recall her getting all worked up in Caitlin Clark's face at the NCAA tournament? Yes, that also has nothing to do with the game. That has to do with Reese's 15 minutes of fame. And now she's back at it, although this time she's using an injury to her wrist to obtain the same treatment. The WNBA community is fully aware of this. Seems like Reese can't make news for anything other than her basketball prowess for more than a week at this point in the league. You would think at this time that she would prefer to be a tabloid celebrity than a serious athlete. She then appears to be wearing 2 casts when she is out and about. A soft cast was made after a hard one. Are you telling the truth? For this performance, how many props does she need? She just has a small fracture in her arm, but she's behaving like she shattered her entire arm. The way she's playing this whole thing, you'd think she was healing from some serious ailment. She also expressed her appreciation for Caitlin in that podcast, and I agree with her that they will play together. I don't mean to imply that she is lying about anything, but when she goes on to add, but Caitlin Clark fans do this, and this. That small detail, that one small item you mentioned, is going to cause further debate. However, let's be honest, Reese has pulled off similar stunts before. She has a long history of controversy, and to be honest, it's hardly shocking at this point. It was all brought to light by Clark's message. What will happen to Reese next? Will she pen a memoir detailing the misfortune of her wrist injury? Would you please do a full interview explaining how the cosmos is against her? She is no longer so much a competitor as a circus act at this point. All I know is that the genuine athletes in the WNBA are setting records, making moves, and playing hoops while Reese is trying to capitalize on this injury narrative for as much publicity as possible. Reese can continue acting as though her wrist is the problem, but we all know that her arm isn't the main issue, rather. It's her mental state.